One of the things I really love about this house is the fact that it is so truly eclectic. In country New South Wales, nestled among the hills and the eucalypts, this beautiful little cottage, and inside, a couple, two talented artists who've become friends, have created this beautiful interior, the essence of French Provincial and one of my favorite places. Even though eclectic, it retains its French quality and style. The breakfast area with the 17th century English chairs in elm and a French buffet surround the French folding table set with English porcelain. Modern artwork sits comfortably here with a collection of Hungarian, French and Dutch country plates, displayed in this French Baltic pine bookcase. Baltic pine has a very fine grain and color, which goes so well with the delicacy of the painting on the plates. The hallway is decorated with a 17th century side table, and on each side an 18th century faux bamboo chair. These chairs, with a timber shaped to look like bamboo, are a testimony to the Chinese influence in France. In the entrance foyer is a small demi-lune, half-circle table in the style of the 17th century English oak furniture. Another 17th century side server from England, with a French tapestry behind it, continues along the hallway. This hallway leads to a lounge that is truly eclectic, a mix of Victorian, colonial and French. The walls have been painted with milk paint. The colors are inspired by the discovery of Pompeii in the 18th century, and this has had a very strong influence on the decorative arts at the time. The cane armchairs give it a summer reading lounge quality, while the Victorian mahogany settee with its over-the-top decoration ensures it's not taken too seriously. A little desk, or bonheur du jour, as it's called, refers to the happy hour of the day when the lady of the house would sit at it to compose letters. A Louis XIV armchair in worn velvet is the other French inhabitant here. So what gives the room its French feel? Possibly the delicate lightness of how it's been composed, together with a wall finish and painting, and its refined cultural and historical references. Here we have the study, dominated by an exquisite Louis XV secretaire desk, guarded by an 18th century oil painting of a very young ancestor. Even the drawer front of the desktop is curved, receding in the center, respectful of the space needed for inspiration. The sides are Bombay or double curved, and its aged cherry wood shows a lustrous, well-kept patina. This is a much-traveled desk, for it went from France to Chicago, where it was bought, and then shipped back here to Australia. The master bedroom walls have been painted by the same artist with a lime wash finish. It is the backdrop for a rare Swiss 17th century painted wardrobe. These pieces were painted when a couple married, with their names and date inscribed here in Old Gothic script. In the dining room, a great display of Hungarian, 17th and 18th century country plates add a real vibrancy to the room. A corner cabinet in the Venetian style shows what life was like in the palaces of that period. And below a painting of Margaret Olley is one of my favorite pieces of French provincial furniture, the pétrin, or dough bin. This one is carved in oak with great skill and delicacy. The walls are painted with a lime wash and decorative frieze of pastel colors with a faint terracotta flower and a country chandelier to match. Maybe it's our love for the sunny and casual living that attracts us to the French provincial style. It's got the warmth, the earthiness, a feeling of casual elegance. And it also focuses on creating a welcoming space for our friends, our family, the people we want to have around us. It gives us an environment that we feel we can regenerate, recharge our batteries. Something that's protective and that we feel comfortable in. In trying to understand what makes the French provincial look, we need to look at its history and its multicultural influences. The Islamic world, the Moorish influences through Spain and France was very strong, and that's where those warm colors come from, some of the motifs, and even in the food. Another important influence was India. Those beautiful tablecloths that we associate with the south of France were originally printing blocks that were brought over from India, and those same blocks are used by the people reproducing those motifs now. Another strong influence in the period of Louis XV was from China. The early travelers brought those motifs and they thought it was fantastic. They called it chinoiserie. And that's where some of the very ornate, the shapes, the curves, the asymmetrical elements actually come from there. Have you ever wondered what it is that gives an interior or a style that feeling of warmth and intimacy? Well, I strongly believe it has to do with the feeling of history that comes through. Like this old table, it's hundreds of years old, and it shows the marks where people have chopped food, where they've sat, what they've rested on it. And being next to it, eating at it, gives you the feeling of being part of that history. And it's the same with the textures, the colors. When they show the history and have a sense of richness, we feel we're connected. And that's one of the things we look for. And I hope that for you too, in this journey with me, you can see elements that will allow you to express yourself in your own interiors with a greater sense of your personal essence. The French provincial style and how we create a home surrounding, a home space, is for me an apt metaphor of our search for both the expression and the need for human warmth.